Let me welcome Mr. A. Hanumanta Reddy, AGM Union Bank of India, who will enlighten us more about the SUE scheme. Two words about him. Mr. Reddy is an MBA postgraduate in financial management with an experience of 15 years in MSME and corporate lending. Sir, please help us in understanding borrowing under the Stand Up India scheme. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you all. Good evening to all. This is Hanumanta Reddy from Union Bank of India. Once the idea of any business is conceived, you may have various questions like what is the product to be manufactured, who are the suppliers, who are the your market, and in fact in that you also have a big question how to fund the project, or what are my funding resources. In that funding resources, to help you bridge the funding resources, the banks are playing a vital role. Earlier speakers also have discussed that the capital requirement of the projects or your entrepreneurs, it is funded through either SIDBI or any other nationalized banks or even private sector banks, all okay, or any other financial institutions. So here, Government of India has also come up with a scheme like a Stand Up India scheme for fostering or promoting the entrepreneurship among women entrepreneurs and also SC and ST entrepreneurs. So to focus development of women entrepreneurs, this Stand Up India scheme has been launched. In this Stand Up India scheme, the banks are also funding. The bank's funding will be in the range of say 10 lakhs rupees to 1 crore rupees, 100 lakhs. Okay, so any project when you are, when the idea of any entrepreneurship is generated, I'm sorry, there is an interruption. That your funding requirements, you can always bank on the banks. Okay, so here when it comes to entrepreneur, the Stand Up India scheme, the eligibility is there should be at least one woman entrepreneur. Okay, if it is a proprietorship concerns like a single one, it's a proprietorship firm, then that particular proprietorship should be a woman entrepreneurs. Suppose if it is say any partnership firm or any other legal entity, then the more than one, like more than 51% of the members should be women entrepreneurs. So I'm talking here only just with respect to the women entrepreneurs, because it can be women entrepreneurs under the scheme or even SC or ST entrepreneurs also. So since it is related to women entrepreneurs, I'm just focusing on women entrepreneurs. Okay, and the borrower's age, that woman entrepreneur's age should be more than 18 years of age. Okay, and the borrower should not have been a defaulter to any other bank or any other lending institution earlier. Okay, here I've already told you that the funding requirement would be in the range of 10 lakhs to 1 crore. So you may have a question like, why 10 lakhs? What about below? Suppose if my project is small, then what about funding that particular project? We have a scheme called, as per the Government of India guidelines, we have a scheme called Mudra schemes, wherein all the loans up to 10 lakhs of borrowing, it can be covered under Mudra scheme. Here, but here under the Stand Up India scheme, especially the loan range would be between 10 lakhs and 1 crore rupees. Okay, here your project cost may be anything. Okay, it may be 1 crore, 2 crores, or 3 crores, or 5 crores, whatever it may be, but the funding requirement or funding will be done only in the range of 10 lakhs and 1 crore rupees. So this is as far as the exposure amount is concerned. Then here, what about margin? How much I need to pay as a borrower or as an entrepreneur, and how much a bank would be funding it? Normally, banks are asking for 25% of the margin. Suppose if the project is say 2 crores rupees, then the bank expects that the 25% of the amount should be contributed by the borrower or by the entrepreneur, and the remaining 75% will be contributed by the bank. But under this scheme, as I already told you, that it is up to 1 crore only. It is under this particular scheme. Of course, banks are having various schemes. Even banks are empowered to lend even less than 10 lakhs rupees. It may be even 50,000 rupees, or even it may be 5 crores, 10 crores, 50 crores, 100 crores rupees, depending on the project. Okay, so here the margin requirement is 10%. But sometimes what happens, you may be receiving the capital subsidy or margin subsidy from various government departments like DAC or CLC schemes or even other government subsidy schemes. In that, what the bank expects is apart from the subsidy scheme, at least 10% of your contribution should be there for in that particular project. Okay, it is overall contribution should be 10%. So then the margin amount, as I already told you, if the subsidy is there, at least it should be 10%. If the subsidy is not there, your contribution should be minimum 25%. Then what about security? How are you to go for offering a security to the bank? Normally, banks expect any loans between 10 lakh, about 10 lakhs rupees, banks expect the collateral security to be funded apart from the assets which are financed by the bank. Suppose you are purchasing a machinery with the bank funding, that particular machinery will be a primary security. Apart from this primary security, banks are also expecting a collateral security. But however, under this Stand Up India scheme, we can also cover it under credit guarantee scheme offered by the government of India. That is, we call it as credit guarantee fund scheme for Stand Up India entrepreneurs. So this is in terms, in line with our CGTMSC, Credit Guarantee Fund Trust Scheme for micro and small entrepreneurs. So same way, the NCGTC, National Credit Guarantee Trust Corporation of India, is a nodal agency. They are funding they are providing the guarantee to the banks. Okay. Then what about the schemes? What kind of loans can be offered by the banks? There are two kinds. One is working capital limit. Another one is your term loans. So that is, one is for funding the fixed cost. Another one is for funding the variable cost. Your fixed cost can be establishment of shed, purchase of any machinery, or what you call even purchase of your own any other asset ancillary to this particular industry, like your furniture, fixtures, or your machinery, your generator set, or any vehicle. All these are fixed costs. Those fixed costs are funded with the help of term loan. This has to be repaid in maximum of 7 years, but we will also give an initial moratorium period up to 18 months under this particular scheme. So suppose you are establishing a unit immediately, but your project can be completed. That is, establishment of the project can be completed maybe after 6 months, or maybe after a year, or maybe even 18 months of time. So the banks give moratorium of 18 months. Apart from that, then you can also repay these term loans in the overall period of 7 years. That is 7 years excluding this moratorium period. Say 1 year moratorium is there, means 1 year first initial moratorium will be given to you. After that, you have to repay the entire loan in the next 6 years. Okay, so this is as far as fixed costs are concerned. And when it comes to variable costs, like your day-to-day expenses, like purchase of material, raw material, or your labor expenses, or other work in process expenses, your electricity, your rent, all these are working capital expenses. These working capital expenses can also be funded by the bank. Okay, banks will give a OD limit, or we also call it as a cash credit limit. Okay, normally this cash credit or OD limit can be given to the borrower. So it's like an operating account. So once we fix up the limit to you, like say some 20 lakhs limit is given to you, this 20 lakhs will be initially, it will be a zero. So whatever the amount you are drawing, you can draw it for the legitimate business expenditures. Okay, and after that, this can be whatever the collections you receive, whatever the payments you receive from your suppliers, that will be credited to this account. So it's like a revolving. So you draw the amount, and after that, when you receive the amount, you credit the amount to your bank account so that your limit will be nullified. Okay, suppose I have drawn say 15 lakhs rupees for purchase of material, raw material. Then after say 15 days of time, I have supplied the material to my customer. He has made the payment of say 10 lakhs rupees initially. The 10 lakhs rupees will be credited to your account. So now the net effect will be only 5 lakhs rupees. So it is like a revolving amount. The more you, whatever the amount you can draw up to the cap, whatever the cap it is fixed, afterwards, the credits have also to come. That is, whatever your payments are there, that has to be credited to this account. So this is as far as the working capital requirement is, working capital limit is concerned. So these are the major two products banks are funding. And as one of the speaker also said, like a bill discounting facility, you have supplied the material to a PSU or any reputed private organization or any other what you call other OEM, your suppliers, then that you can come to the bank with that particular bill and you can get it discounted, and immediately you can encash that particular bill. Suppose if you may have received one particular big order, and that is there is a one-time order. In that case, you can also approach the bank for an ad hoc facility. So actually, bank has given you 20 lakhs limit. Apart from the regular orders, one-time order you have received because there is a huge requirement for a particular company. Then immediately they have asked you to execute that particular order. But this order is over and above your regular orders. So in those cases, you can also come to a bank and seek an ad hoc facility. That is for that particular order itself. You can seek the facility from the bank. So this is ad hoc facility. And you can also when you are approaching the bank. Normally, when you are going for this entrepreneurship journey, you approach the bank with your KYC reports, with your approvals and all the quotations, like your machinery quotation or your furniture quotation, your other equipment quotations and all. And if any subsidy are there, the subsidy sanctions from the various government departments, approvals of having sanctioned the subsidy, then any other tie-ups for supply of your material, or all these vital information you have to provide to the bank. So the bankers will consider based on the various approvals, various the certifications. The bankers perceive whether the particular project is a bankable project or not. Okay, and also your margin requirement. So with this, normally banks are providing the requirement funding. Even if the funding, whatever are granted by the bank, if you feel that if it is less, you can also substantiate with your orders or with your requirement to the banker. Then you can also ask for enhancement in limit, especially in working capital over a period of time. So by providing the sufficient justification for your requirement. So this is all about the banking, this one. So less than 10 lakhs, you can always go for mudra kind of loans where there is no requirement of collateral security, and about 10 lakhs rupees up to 1 crore, you can also go for under this Stand Up India scheme. It is on the aegis of Government of India guidelines. And above 1 crore, even banks have their own specific schemes, which also can be banks can also provide under those schemes. So this is all about a banker's perspective, and wish you all a successful journey in this entrepreneurship journey. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Kalpana. Yeah, Mamta ma'am from SIDBI would just like to add something to this. Just she's just speaking for a minute.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you, sir. Everyone. Thank you. That was very important.
Reddy sir, just a small clarification for the participants. The margin money requirements, sir, during this